am the Collector, and this is my battle realm. The world's greatest heroes and villains under my spell. Forced to fight in my cosmic contest.
Come on, buddy, unfreeze us already!
Fine. as you were.
Collect Marvel heroes, form alliances, face off in the ultimate contest of champions. Who's on your team? Download for free.
My contest grows each day, with champions ranging from the incredible to the amazing to the...
He did it! No! Right. Listen, I'm in the middle of a commercial. I'll call you back. Beep boop.
Oh, I hate this guy.
Oh, that's nice.
Collect Marvel heroes, form alliances, face off in the ultimate contest of champions. Who's on your team?
Chimichangas!
Download for free.
My battle realm is on edge. Friend versus friend. Alliance versus alliance. What will spark the next great civil war?
Got something to say? Yeah, those stripes make you look fat. Don't worry, we'll break for lunch soon.
Collect heroes and choose sides as the Alliance Wars rage on. Contest of Champions. Who's on your team? Download for free.
back with Contest to Comments, the post-game show where you stay on top of all things Contest of Champions. Here's your host, Thiside the Collector.
Greetings, Earthlings. We have a very special 2-year anniversary show tonight. The Contest of Champions has amassed some impressive numbers in these 2 years. More than 85 million summoners are currently competing. 5.4 billion champion teams fought in more than 24 billion battles. And that is only counting Earth, which is a second-class planetoid compared to... Anyway, let's roll the tape.
Hold on to your tights, contest fans, because it's time for the Brawls of the Week. First up, we got Ghost Rider launching his patented flaming halitosis to torch guillotines creme brulee. Originating. Next, we see the Sultan of Sulphur, Nightcrawler, unleashing his famous 360-degree German sucker punch against Kang the Conqueror. Followed up by Mortal, and into Civil Warrior's astral form into the lost and found dimension. And we close things out with the Mad Monk Karnak doing a bit of extreme weed whacking on a helpless Groot. Tim Burton.
Have your battle injuries in the Contest of Champions impacted your livelihood as a superhero? Call Nelson and Murdoch Attorneys at Law for a free consultation. Justice is blind, but we look out for you.
And we're back with Contest of Comments, the post-game show with a captive audience of billions across the multiverse. While my contest has achieved near perfection, some of my lackeys leave a lot to be desired. Therefore, I shift the blame for what you are about to witness entirely on their incompetence.
Crazy Collector's Units 4 ISO. Do you have old ISO crystals lying around? Crazy Collector will take it from your hands.
Now, what? We have an interview with one of my favorite champions, Spider-Man. Come on in, Arachnid. That Peter Parker is very amusing with his humorous quips and... Who are you?
I'm Spider-Man.
No, you're not. Where's Peter?
Probably trapped in a crystal or fighting.
Don't patronize me, imposter!
He's not the only spider person anymore, you know. There's loads of us. Okay, everybody. Group shot.
Deadpool, I demand to... What? Enough! Well, I had a lovely time, and I do hope all of you Earthlings did as well. Stay tuned for more exciting battles in the next season of Contest of Champions. We're just getting started. Play me out. Play me out.
What is this?
Listen to me. You have been wasting your potential, hiding under the shadow of an empty dream. But you can't hide from us. The dream is over, Bobby. It has evolved into a beautiful new era where the strong rule the world. Join us, and together we'll reveal your true power. Bobby, listen to me. You have been wasting your potential, hiding under the shadow of an empty dream. But you can't hide from us. The dream is over, Bobby. It has evolved into a beautiful new era where the strong rule the world. Join us, and together we'll reveal your true power.
The ancient scrolls tell of 7 legendary companions who undertook a most perilous journey through the depths of the battle realm. A paladin, an elf, a wizard, a thief, an archer, a bard, and the fiercest warrior of them all, an angel without wings, wielding lethal blades of immortal steel. United by kinship and duty, they have fought together, facing countless dangers to help one of their own. But nothing could prepare them for their final challenge. A true monster unleashed, made of twisted root and thorn, with a booming voice that made the very forest tremble.
Subject 335667, Yandu Udonta, former leader of the gang of thieves known as the Ravagers. Principal weapon is a Yaka arrow controlled by his whistles. Subject collects animal figurines. After his ship crashed, collection is down to 1 damaged crystal frog.
Amateur.
Subject 335668, Lufamoid assassin, only known as Nebula. Derives her strength and agility from various cybernetic implants. Subject is an adopted daughter of the Mad Titan Thanos.
Thanos? Promising.
She fell out of favor with her adopted father for failing assigned missions, notably against a giant tree and a raccoon. Subject is currently least favorite daughter of Thanos, after Gamora.
Sheesh. Never mind then. Just store them with the other a-holes.
Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Minister of Punishment and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the charter of the Hydra Empire!
Considered to be a byproduct of the creation of the universe, neutronium presents itself in 8 atom cubic isotopes. For that reason, it's commonly known as... let's see... Peter Parker!
Yes, Mr. Tavon. Just a dream?
Go back to school, kid. You're out of your league.
I have a name, Birdie.
Oh, we know. Spider-Man.
Max Dillon, aka Electro, Human Dynamo. Alexei Sisevich, aka Rhino, tough hide, tougher horn. Eddie Brock, aka Venom, bully reporter covered in alien slime. Adrian Toombs, aka Vulture, massive weaponized wings and bird claws. Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus. Robotic tentacles controlled by a massive ego. Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin. Psychotic CEO carrying a high-tech Halloween arsenal. So, what do you think?
Not bad, kid. But I told you there's no tryouts for the Avengers.
Summoner, you might think you know the Battle Realm, but the history of this place is longer than you realize. The soil upon which you battle, blood was spilled here before. Eons ago, warriors were born and raised in the harsh vacuum of space, and wore sacred artifacts to honor their multiversal gods. They fought and killed using naught but their bare hands. Then they died, and were forgotten by all. Except by the bloodlines old enough to remember, buried forever in the sands of time. Shh.
Read closely, Curse-Bearer, for this is your legacy. The tome in your possession documents the long history of the guillotine, of which you are the most recent incarnation. The blood sword belonged to many. Some used it for good. Many more for evil. Such was the case of Queen Hassan of Languria, a tyrant who used the mystical powers of the sword to subjugate her own people. So many died under her evil regime that her own subjects turned against her, taking her castle by storm. The rebels stole the Queen's sword and locked her in one of her own cursed torture devices. And there she remained, until an ancient evil took notice.
Mighty Queen, they have stolen your crown, your beloved blade. But I can help you walk free again, give you the tools for your just revenge. All I want in return is a small tribute. Do we have a deal?
I know what you're thinking. How did this happen? Well, it's a long story.
I, the Grand Master, welcome you to the main event of the evening. The battle of the century. The Green Goliath versus the God of Thunder. Only here, in this time of times, in this place of places, can we witness such a titanic gladiatorial event. Welcome to the Contest of Champions! Yes!
Just off the coast of the Battle Realm lies the 5-star resort of your dreams. Come, rest, and enjoy the many amenities of the most luxurious vacation destination this side of the Quantumverse. Refuel with one of our famous ISO 8 drinks by the pool.
Science infused!
Enjoy our top-of-the-line gym with your own personal trainer to help get you in fighting shape for that next arena.
Yes! Straight through nanorobotics!
Complete your stay with a dining experience you won't soon forget.
With a side of genetic alteration to round out the experiment!
Oh, and bring all your friends. The more, the merrier.
It will be a life-changing experience!
The Battle Realm. One day this place will be my grave. But it was an endless source of wonder and discovery when I was a young man. I took pride in unearthing its treasures. I cataloged and collected all I could get my hands on. Today, I obsess about only one thing: the future. But the mistakes of my youth are never too far away. They pull me in like a black hole, always looming on the horizon. Master, I am back. I can only escape its gravity for so long.
I am T'Challa, son of T'Chaka. Through many generations, my ancestors have helped build Wakanda into the envy of the world. Then you came and brought my country to its knees. I realize you can pulverize me with a thought, wish me out of existence with your powerful gauntlet. But you are on Wakandan sacred soil, and therefore bound by its law. If you accept my challenge, you must come down from your stolen throne and fight me. So I challenge you, usurper. Face the Black Panther, or name a champion who will.
Challenge accepted. But I don't need to name my champion. You know him already.
Tired of fighting endlessly for their master's entertainment, their plan was simple. Lure out the vigilant wardens that held them captive at the behest of their masters. It would be their last chance to escape. Friends and foes united and fought side by side. And just as the battle looked won, the real threat made itself known. Their plan was simple, but I was too late. Again.
I had a nightmare last night. I was chained to a cliff overlooking the battle realm. Every night, a large predator would come and devour my left hand, which would grow back the next morning. I felt sharp fangs puncturing hard metal until they found soft flesh and bone. I would pass out from the pain, only to wake up in a different kind of agony, as metal and tissue slowly regenerated. And so my torture went on for a very long time. Until one night, the beast did not come. Instead, I heard footsteps. It was a beautiful woman, all dressed in black. She held my newborn hand, but instead of harming it, she carefully planted an infinity stone on its back. Except the gem wasn't there. Instead, the whole universe was the gem, and the gem was a gap where nothing existed. Neither life nor death. My enemies call me the Mad Titan, but where simpler minds see only chaos, I see divine purpose. If that's being insane, then call me mad. I had a dream last night. The universe was broken, and only I knew how to fix it. Opportunity revealed the genesis of my plan. In shadows, I worked on its evolution, but was opposed by a deplorable band of so-called heroes. War against them became inevitable, but fate turned against me. Chaos ensued. Like insolent children, my enemies believed they could escape from my grasp. But it's a matter of time until Thanos Thiside and becomes their worst nightmare. For I have completed my gauntlet, and I'm coming for all of them. Death at my heels.
Sigo recordando ese día, cuando el extraño de rojo pasó por el pueblo.
Forgive me, Padre, for I have sinned. A lot.
Estoy escuchando, mi hijo.
Well, where should I begin? It was my first day in kindergarten. Little Billy was being a bully to little Susie, so I hit a snake in his tricycle, just to give him a good scare. Turns out the snake wasn't venomous, but what do you want? I was only 3 at the time, Padre, and my Ophidian taxonomy skills were not as developed as they are today. Plus, But I digress again. I think that pretty much covers the killing part of my capital sins. How many are there again? Is it 4? Don't worry, Padre. I will keep this list short. Unless one of them is lust. Ooh, if it's lust. Oh boy. If it is, I hope you've got some time. What am I saying? Of course you do. I killed all the other sinners in town. I'm so sorry, that was a bad joke, Padre. Anywho.
El extraño me abrió los ojos a la crueldad del mundo. Desde ese día, decidí seguir sus pasos. ¡Como masacre!
Peanut.
Daddy!
Ready for your ghost story?
Yes!
Once upon a time, by which I mean last week. And that's how your dad saved the day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Afraid of a little bug?
Good evening everyone, and welcome to the first meeting of the Revolution 2.0, or as I like to call it, the Re-Revolution. I'm Korg, I'm kind of the leader here, and this little guy by my side is Meek. He doesn't do much, but I feel bad for stepping on him a couple of weeks back, so I hired him as our new recruitment officer. Quick roll call. The Summoner, present. Angry Lady, present. And you, present. That's 3 presents in the attendance book, so 7 people in total. Our best turnout ever. First order of the day is recruitment. I printed way too many pamphlets this time, so we need to squeeze in a few more recruits before Friday. Meek can give you more details. Meek. Anyway, these are our new candidates. Meek found these guys on the internet. Some of them have a lot of followers, so if we can get them to join, the revolution will be a success. Or at least we'll get a lot of likes. Now I'll use my big wooden fork to choose 3 people at random. Here you go. Who do we have here? Red-faced guy. Maybe he had too much sun and his nose fell off. But we don't like to judge. We're an equal opportunity revolution. We'll add to our list of demands free plastic surgeries for those in need. This one is a great warrior, but we can't have a guy running around with an armor made entirely out of gold. It might send the wrong message since we're a workers' revolution. I'll put it in the maybe pile. Hey, I know this guy. This is the original Doug. Oh, but Doug is dead. Sorry guys, Meek has a little trouble telling dead humanoids from living ones. Here little buddy, if the eyes are bugged out and the tongue is dangling, he's probably dead. The flies are a giveaway too. Anyway, don't worry, I put you in charge of recruitment, it's my fault. I felt bad. You had misplaced your battle suit with the knives for hands, and I wanted to give you a cushy office job. Okay, I'll bring you to the fight with me. Look at the little bugger, Summoner. I just can't say no when he looks at me like that. Come on, Meek. Come on, you little cutie. Okie dokie, quick roll call. The Summoner, present. He's been summoned, and he turned up, so who's the Summoner, really? You can still keep your name, Summoner, even though you didn't summon me, I summoned you. So you'll become a visitor. You should change your name to the Visitor. Anyway, the Summoner, present. Angry Lady, present. And you, you know what? I'll put you down as 3 presents in the attendance book. So 7 people in total. That's our best turnout ever.
You've been a bad boy, Mr. Rosevich. Yes, I know all about the fight behind the school. 5 boys ganged up on you. And little yellow-belly Arkady curled up into a ball crying and didn't even try to fight back. Now that's more like it. That's the fire I saw in you when I first brought you to my school. The world has done you wrong, Arkady. But the weapons of your revenge are in your own hands. Do as I say, and we shall drive them into our enemies' hearts. Together.
Heed my words, O champion. Many eons ago, here in the same soil where today your blood is spilled, the first contest of champions took place. It was fought in an arena made of rock and crystal. It was built by the hands of a peaceful race forced into slavery by the cruel being running that contest. But one day, among the lambs, a lion was born. His name was Aegon. From an early age, he desired above all to be a gladiator. He trained day and night in secret, dreaming of glory in the arena. Defying the strict code of non-violence of his race, Aegon entered the contest in disguise. That's where he met Cleo, a slave girl who tended to tired gladiators in between fights. Aegon had never seen such a lovely creature. Cleo was a dreamer. Her idealist mind was free from the shackles that bound her fragile body. Behind the twin suns of her eyes, Aegon could see a deep sense of compassion for all beings oppressed by their master. Inspired to become a better man, he vowed to win the contest for Cleo and use the prize to free their people. From that day forward, against all odds, Aegon fought his way through champions way above his league. He had no powers, no advanced technology, no cosmic weapons. All he needed to win was right there, watching him nervously from the edge of the arena. Until Aegon finally reached the title fight against the master of the contest himself. The master was an elder of the universe, bloated by years of feeding off the power of the ISO 8. Aegon had no chance against such a corrupted creature. The very existence of Aegon irritated the master. It was a mockery to him that such a pathetic being would get so far in this contest. In a fit of rage, he plucked Aegon's arm from its side, as if looking for a hidden source of power in his mortal flesh. In desperation, Cleo rushed the arena to save her beloved. The Master flung her across the arena like an insect. A couple of seconds, that's all she bought Aegon. That's all he needed. It was all over. Aegon was the winner of the first contest of champions. But the price was too high. For his victory, Aegon was awarded a golden belt forged from the isosphere itself. It was a weapon with the power to supercharge the wearer's innate abilities and extend their natural lifespan. But it could not bring her back. With the Master dead, all the slaves were freed. A mass exodus soon began. But the high priests of his people would not let Aegon come with them. In the eyes of their strict culture, his choice of a violent life had made him a pariah. In anger, Aegon instinctively activated the belt's cosmic powers for the first time. It was an energy manifestation of his severed limb, summoned by his fury. With that power, Aegon could have forced them to take him. He could have forcibly become their king if he so wished. But then he remembered. He had lost an important part of himself in the contest, and no amount of power could make him whole. Aegon had chosen the life of a warrior, and that had changed him. He decided to stay behind in the battle realm, watching from a distance as contests would come and go. An immortal gladiator with no desire to ever enter the arena again.
I ride. I seize the gravity waves of the Big Bang itself and ride the universe. I am a ghost, a glimpse too fast to be perceived by human sight. I slingshot through an expanding cosmos, swerving through the fiery debris of time and space as they violently coalesce. I see a Leviathan taking its last breath, cursing in the language of ancient gods. It convulses, its very entrails hardening into bizarre crystal formations. I witness a new realm being born. Shattered mirror image of creation replaying the same cosmic contest over and over. I see the masters of this realm, flamboyant new gods collecting mortal lives for their own vanity and entertainment. I see many champions rise and fall in their name. I see hero fight hero, brother fight brother, trapped in an endless spiral of violence as old as time itself. But I also witness the seeds of rebellious fellowship. They sprout acts of heroic sacrifice, of defiant hope. It is for hope that I break the barriers of space and time. It is for hope that I search the four corners of the battle realm. It is for hope that I ride. A long time ago, I made a promise to my friends. No matter how long it takes or how far I have to travel, I will fulfill that promise. I will find them and bring them back home. Thus spoke the Silver Surfer.
Okay, memory's still fuzzy, but it's all coming back to me now. I was at this deli, best meatball sub on the Lower East Side. Bought one, but didn't get to eat it for some reason. Oh yeah, that old geezer who likes to collect people. Transported us to some battle dimension or what have you. I thought, here we go again. I remember helping Stretch build some kind of escape machine and hoping to get back to my sandwich before it got cold. But then the real boss showed up, and all hell broke loose. I kid you not, he literally punched the universe and sent us flying into different dimensions. As my Aunt Petunia would say, what a revolt and development! Now it's up to your blue-eyed idol of millions to sort this mess out. Whoever's in charge of this place, he's gonna pay for messing with me and my family. And he owes me a meatball sub with extra sauce, 'cause it's clobbering time.
The multiverse is dead. Long live the multiverse. From the ashes of the old cosmos, a new one is born. Matter, energy, time, space, and something in between. ISO 8, also called neutronium, the birth call of the universe. Weaponized space-time, the most powerful substance in all creation, and by far the rarest, except in one place, where it can be picked from the ground like gravel. The Battle Realm, the nexus of all realities, home of the Contest of Champions. Created by freak accident when a gigantic celestial being, fleeing the death of his own universe, crashed into ours. An accident so violent, it shattered the fabric of space-time, fusing shards of multiple dimensions into one fractured realm, containing the lion's share of the multiverse's ISO 8. A vast treasure that has lured many with its promise of infinite power. Among them, Tanalia Tivan, the Collector, and Andouille Gast, the Grandmaster. Together, they explored the Battle Realm's mysteries until tragedy tore them apart. Karina, the Collector's daughter, was transmuted into a statue of pure ISO 8 by the explosive energy of the dying Celestial and then shattered into 1 billion fragments. The Collector has dedicated much of his life to gathering these pieces, a monumental task even for an elder of the universe. That led the Collector to become involved in questionable company, namely the Maestro, a hulking conqueror who declared that, having subjugated champions of multiple realities, was in search of a worthy challenger to fight him in single combat. And to that end, he enlisted the Collector to help him build a new Contest of Champions. In exchange, the Maestro promised the power necessary to bring his daughter back to life. Their association would be a fruitful one. This new contest would recruit thousands of champions from as many universes, and most against their will, into a massive gladiatorial event. But the Maestro lied. The contest was just a facade, a tool for a much more nefarious plan involving the power of ISO 8.
Dear Mr. Essex, I hope this missive finds you well. I have read your correspondence, and your expressed enthusiasm about my work is much appreciated. It means a lot coming from a brilliant scientific intellect like yours. In regards to your question, I am indeed familiar with your theory of accelerated human mutation. Particularly impressive was your hypothesis about biologic parcels and their role in the transmission of information between generations. The theoretical groundwork is sound, and I would encourage you to pursue it further. However, I must urge you not to proceed with the proposed human vivisections. I believe that, as traits of a gentleman scientist go, moral compass is as important as deductive reasoning or field experience. I must also discourage you from experimenting on yourself, lest we risk losing one of our most promising minds. The role of scientist must be one of shining a light on the wonders of creation, excising from the human mind the twin monsters of ignorance and prejudice. We must not create more monsters, nor become one ourselves. Using the awesome powers of science for such practices seems to me, for lack of a better word, sinister. Yours sincerely obliged, Charles Darwin.
Sinister indeed, old man. But you had no idea how much.
T-1 day until the Contest of Champions grand opening. Despite some false starts, most elements are in place. Battle arenas, a large cache of ISO 8 and catalysts, even a brand new isosphere. The last piece of the puzzle is a functional champion roster. The Maestro has demanded a large amount of top-notch warriors from multiple realities, with little regard to logistics. Needless to say, one does not contradict a gamma-infused genocidal maniac, so I had to improvise. Not a perfect solution for the long run, but realistically, how long can this contest last? 6 months? Maybe a year? No one will ever notice.
All who enter the battle realm succumb to the ISO spell, one way or another. The Contest of Champions thrived for decades under Tanalier Tivan, the Collector. Tivan filled his crystal vaults with scores of mind-controlled champions to use in his wicked game. Eventually Kang the Conqueror, seeking the isosphere's power to conquer unchallenged, was pitted against a promising young summoner. Amidst the chaos of battle, heroes began to break free of the ISO spell that compelled them to fight. They began to question the nature of the battle realm and the purpose of the contest itself. The Maestro's plan risked being exposed, but he remained unfazed. What threat could these so-called heroes pose to one who took the Devourer's helmet as a trophy? In his hubris, the Maestro did not count on the arrival of Thanos. The Mad Titan demanded to know the identity of the contest's benefactor and allied himself with a summoner to defeat Kang and force the Maestro's hand. And force it he did. The Maestro was revealed, but in his arrogance, he failed to foresee Thanos discovering the truth about the contest. That the isosphere was yet another lie. The Battle Realm is made of ISO 8. It's where Maestro's power comes from. The isosphere is as useful as a glass of water to a drowning man. The real prize is the Battle Realm itself. And, in order to claim it, Thanos would have to defeat the Summoner. A wise king leaves his throne only to defend it. And so the path was clear. The Summoner versus Thanos. A battle to determine who would face the Maestro and spark the flames of rebellion.
All right, let's think. How did I get here? Oh yeah, I was on a hot date with a Hollywood starlet that shall remain unnamed. An old man approached us. At first I thought it was the valet, but surprise, it was yet another space lunatic looking for quick fame on the back of a hard-working superhero celebrity. Can't I just have a quiet Sunday night without some cosmic kidnapper interrupting my plans? Next I know, I'm in space with the rest of the Fantastic Four. I remember Ben getting really riled up about a stupid meatball sandwich. Let it go, will ya? What about my hot date? She's never gonna forgive me for leaving her all alone with the paparazzi. Needless to say, things just went downhill from there. A giant Hulk showed up, punched us into 4 different dimensions. And just my luck, I ended up stranded in my least favorite vacation spot in the whole multiverse, the Negative Zone, and right in the middle of Space Locust season. What are the chances of that? That can mean only one thing. It's time to flame on!
Human. You might believe yourself equal to my master. Worthy, perhaps, of a higher station in the universal hierarchy. You might even, from atop your primitive hubris, believe that your recent victory was more than a fleeting moment in the grand scheme of things. But you are wrong. There are many universes, many realities, and within these, many outcomes of your same misguided actions. To each universe where insects fell to Titan, there are many more where the universal scales are in balance. But I don't blame you for trying. You are animals, barely crawling out of the primordial mud. You don't know any better. You do not yet know the meaning of the dispassionate mercy my master brings to all living beings. But it matters not. All I need to do is to open the doors to any of the many universes coexisting in this battle realm, and your nightmare will be born anew. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. And now, it's here. Or should I say, Thanos is.
One would think that the taming of the Mad Titan would bring some peace to the battle realm. But the truth was far the inverse. The efforts of Ant-Man revealed a disturbing reality. The Maestro was using the energy of ISO 8 not just to power his contest, but to create something of immense might. Despite his haste, Ant-Man could only pass a vague warning of the Maestro's sinister plot to the Collector and the Summoner. A strategy would be required, and time was short. Confiding in the Summoner, the Collector admitted his unease. He feared the Maestro's plans for the Battle Realm, and was freeing champions from crystals to offer resistance against his master's dominion. Returning to the coalescing Battle Realm, Maestro berated his steward, revealing that he knew more about the Collector's duplicity than the Elder had hoped. Both fear and hope came in the form of a message from Black Widow, who had discovered what the Maestro was aiming to create, a weapon of unparalleled strength. In an uneasy alliance, the Collector worked with his once vassals to undermine his master. Fearing that their combined powers would not be enough to overcome the Maestro, the Collector made a rash decision. Guillotine was willing to act on the Collector's plan and freed their ace in the hole from his crystal prison. It would be a decision they and the others would eventually regret. Amidst threats of incomparable violence, the Maestro revealed the truth of his scheme. He had created what was thought to be primordial, beyond mortal ken, an Infinity Stone, and not one ever before seen in the multiverse. A new form, the Genesis Stone. Though the Summoner fought bravely, the Maestro's power, combined with the Genesis Stone, was greater than any could have expected. But their battle was interrupted before the Maestro could bring his power to bear on the heroes by the Collector's gambit. As he had many times before, Thanos found himself in possession of an Infinity Stone. Though the Maestro had been stopped, a much greater evil now lurked within the Battle Realm, one that would only grow with every conflict that sparked across the contest. But, for the time, there was peace.
Keep your cool now. Recall the sequence of events. That morning was hectic. I dropped the kids at quantum physics camp, late again, then got temporarily sidetracked by the puppet master on the way to get parts for Reed's new anti-spectrometer. Then back to the Baxter. The rest of the 4 were away, so I was finally able to put my feet up for a couple hours, when my regular programming was interrupted by the Collector. Creepy old man with a galactic case of hoarding. There goes my me time, I thought. Turns out the Collector got the complete Fantastic Four set. Big mistake. Reunited, we quickly started working on an escape device. Ben and Johnny were bickering, as usual, and Reed was too distracted with the machines, so I was the only one to notice we'd been discovered. We were split, once again, this time into different dimensions. Instinctively, I held a force field up. I don't know if there's any oxygen in this place.
Hello, Susan.
Hi, Aunt May. Here's the postcards of my trip to Europe, like you asked. The trip so far has been a blast. Ned, MJ, and the rest are having a lot of fun. Even Flash is being nicer. Sometimes. Almost. Barely. I've been practicing my Italian, beyond ordering at Pepe's, and you know what? You're right. Pizza is the universal language. Thanks for insisting on me bringing my pajamas. The nights here can be quite chilly, and having some extra layers definitely helps. Wink, wink. Aunt May! You'll never guess who I ran into! Nick Fury! If you never heard of him, that's because he's a spy. He's the spy. He's the director of a major government operation, and he needs my help. Oops. Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. Fury even shot Ned with a tranquilizer dart to avoid having his cover blown. Hi, Aunt May. Okay, the trip took another unexpected turn. Me, Fury, and that Mysterio guy got all sucked into a weird portal. And now we're in space! Well, not exactly, because we can still breathe. There's other spider people here, and we're supposed to fight each other? I think? I don't want to fight them, Aunt May. They seem like nice people. Anyway, I have no idea if there's a post office in this battle realm, so I'll keep these in my pocket until I can mail them to you. But it might take a while. It seems that I'm really far from home this time. Don't wish you were here, Peter.
The peace, brought by the Maestro's fall, was tenuous, and not without its own follies. Free the Maestro's hand, the Collector continued his game, bringing more champions into the contest. And with more champions came more conflict. Old rivalries, unsettled hatreds, and long-standing foes permeated the battle realm. It would be two of the most notable heroes of their time, Captain Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, who would spark one of the battle realm's largest and most caustic battles. The rift between the two drove deeper than their own friendship, dividing those close to them on an ideological front, those that would seek to win the contest and those who sought to escape it. As both factions started to mobilize their own plots, it wasn't long before they began to butt heads. Soon they saw each other as the greater threat than the Elder of the Universe who had put them there in the first place. All-out combat sparked across the battle realm. In many ways, the Maestro's ideal realized after his time. In short order, the summoners themselves became party to the events, choosing sides, as the champions did, and ratcheting up the intensity of the burgeoning war. However, a faint spark of hope created an opportunity to shift the tide. The Falcon and T'Challa, both lieutenants to their respective leaders, they had lost faith in the conflict and feared their old friends had become corrupted by their own singular focus. Working together with several summoners and other defectors, the band sought to find a single entity capable of stopping the two warmongers. The Civil Warrior, a version of Steve Rogers who had fought in a devastating alternate version of the Civil War that had taken the life of Tony Stark by his own hand. Snapped from a grieving reverie by the encouragement and belief of his allies, the Civil Warrior gathered his courage and presented himself to the leaders of the conflict, hoping to reach them with words in this most desperate hour. When they would not hear him, it would be up to the summoner and the Civil Warrior to bring an end, once and for all, to the war. Again, the language of the battle realm most used to settle conflict would be the battle itself. The Collector then found his opportunity to strike. The champions, all weakened and amassed in one location, were returned to crystalline prisons. Greater threats yet loomed for the Elder of the Universe, and he would need every weapon in his arsenal to combat them.
This one had finally escaped its troubled destiny, only to find himself stranded in unknown location. Surprisingly, while analyzing the local fauna, this one quickly requisitioned some self-friends to guide it through a battle realm. Database entry. Many new and intriguing examples of friend shapes became cataloged by this being. A furry short one, greeted with local ritual and intriguing gestures. And more intriguing still, this being is aware of the local nutrients. Realization!
The bizarre friend taught this one self about the realm snacks. This one then found its power. Conclusion. This one likes the power. ISO makes Warlock overclock. The Battle Realm will make home for this one. For Warlock can be a powerful one here.
Yes, gentlemen. This creature's technology will benefit us greatly. Aguenta firme, meu amigo. Eu vou te ajudar.
The Battle Realm is under siege! Evildoers are wreaking havoc. Unchecked, these sinister fiends will corrupt every man, woman, and child into mindless servants of evil to aid them in reaching their nefarious goals of cosmic domination! But fret not, onlooker. From another dimension, our ever-vigilant hero springs into action! The ever-resolute trans-dimensional law enforcer Arcus will not stand by and let this unspeakable tyranny take place on his watch. With his faster-than-light reflexes and strength of 10 men, our steadfast hero makes short work of the sinister hordes. But even for one as tenacious as Arcus, all three diabolical villains combined prove to be too much for our noble champion to handle. Could this mean the end of the intangible vision? Alas, an unlikely hero is here to help conquer the day. Gifted by the Lord of Darkness himself, with psychic powers that strike fear into the very hearts of her prey, Clairvoyant, the Black Widow, has arrived in the nick of time to save the day and rescue the Vision from an untimely end. The two vigilant heroes, with their powers combined, quickly dispose of those devious devils and serve them a fist full of justice. Take heed, villains, and let this be a warning, for that anywhere evil lurks or scoundrels plot, your evil aspirations will come to an end at the hands of the heroes of the Contest of Champions!
Siblings have a tendency towards jealousy for one another, particularly when the other's toys are involved. Elders of the universe are no exception. Endwigast, or the Grand Master as he is more commonly known, spared subtlety when he came to the Battle Realm, instead interrupting the Collector's new tournament face to face, claiming the Battle Realm for his own and his younger brother a fraud. Working with Loki, he began to subvert the contest, destabilizing what structure there was and using honeyed words to convince the summoners to betray their steward. He presented a compelling point. Had the Battle Realm not been a place of chaos under the Collector's watch? The Universal Gamesman presented a world where the contest would come to an end once completed, should he have his way. It was a convincing argument, made only more so by the Grand Master's great reveal. He had been stealing the energy of the isosphere all along. Now equally matched, the Grand Master began to sway the Battle Realm in earnest. At first he simply poked and prodded at the weaker sinews of the Collector's dominance. As the summoners and champions fought, more and more found themselves drawn to the Grand Master's side. As the Collector's House of Cards began to falter, he aligned himself with criminals and began to mind control or crystallize any of those that would defy him. He was overrun by the Grand Master's plotting, just as the gamesman had intended. The Grand Master used a certain summoner, the one who had defeated the Maestro, to bring his brother to his knees. He encased the Collector in a crystal and let loose his claim of ownership to the Battle Realm. The games had begun. Shortly, the denizens of the contest learned that they had traded a meandering despot for a focused one. Those who had sided with the Grand Master found little in the way of kindness or advantage, simply placed first in line for the suffering. In response, heroes and summoners found allies in each other and worked to disrupt the gamesmen. A unique crystalline structure was discovered, dormant power in interlinked splinters, believed to be part of the first brick laid in the Battle Realm's construction, the cornerstone. While the summoners played along with the Grand Master's game, distracting him from the efforts of the heroes, Doctors Strange and Voodoo set to collecting the cornerstone splinters with their allies. With most of the pieces collected, the summoner came face to face with the Grand Master. He posed a final game. Defeat his champion, and he will permit the cornerstone be reconstructed by the summoners. Fail, and it will become the Grand Master's weapon to use as he saw fit. Ultimately, the Grand Master's hubris would lead to his defeat. But he would not be so easily swayed from his position. Dismissively, he let the champions rebuild their cornerstone. But its reconstruction revealed that it was not an object, but a person.
Alchemax Core, Project Red Flower, Historical Research, Project Lead Dr. M. Faustus, Distribution strictly prohibited. 6000 BCE, first mentions of the mythical weapon known as the Bloodline. According to legend, the Bloodline was created by the Sumerian goddess Ereshkigal from a demon's spinal cord and feasted on the souls of human beings. 1750 BCE, early efforts are made to convert the Bloodline into a weapon of human war. Despite the attempts by diverse ancient warlords, the demonic energy remained too dangerous to be handled by mere mortals. But the allure of the demon sword was too strong. Throughout history, many heroes and kings tried to tame the demon within the blade, only to succumb to its power. 974 CE. Hassan, the Witch Queen of Languria, finally bends the Bloodline to her will by encasing it with a magic-infused alloy. The Queen uses the new sword, now named Blut Damarung, to subjugate her own people. 998 CE. Queen Hassan is toppled by her subjects and her castle torched. The demon sword is found in the rubble and partially rebuilt by amateur bloodsmiths. It exchanges hands many times in the next centuries, always bringing misfortune to its owners. 1478 CE. The demon sword is acquired by an order of French monks skilled in the arts of mystical metal casting. They work on restoring it for the next 20 years, reinforcing the spells created by Queen Hassan and rechristening the blade La Fleur du Mal. 1680 CE. In the next 2 centuries, the sword changes shape and purpose with each new owner, while becoming ever thirstier for human blood. And it is in one of the bloodiest periods of European history that the demon sword starts its long association with the guillotine bloodline. By the end of World War II, the guillotines had learned to let the sword guide their hands as much as they guide it, creating a mysterious symbiosis with that fearsome lineage of warriors fueled by mystic energy. But now, 155 years later, modern technology is able to democratize this energy, removing it from the ancient monopoly of a single lineage and offering it to the whole world for a low price. Like a wise man once said, magic is only science we don't understand yet. Welcome to the future of warfare. Welcome to Guillotine 2099.
Starting mnemonic program. 240 seconds and counting. I remember being in my lab, frustrated by a broken hyperspatial equation. Years of work invalidated by a single rogue variable. Suddenly, I get a surprise visit by the Collector. His menagerie seemingly in short supply of failed human scientists. As my atoms shoot through space, I almost feel a sense of relief. Abducted by an elder of the universe. Great excuse for not facing my shortcomings. I'm teleported to the Collector's so-called battle realm. Readings indicate near maximum structural entropy. At this state, this place should be collapsing. Instead, it's being kept in an indefinite coma by a massive energy radiating from its core. The rest of the four are here as well. We break loose from the Collector and work on an improvised escape beacon. Ben and Johnny talk trivialities, trusting my plan will work, but I'm not sure. Escaping this place will demand sacrifice. Sue warns me of something, but I'm too distracted to react in time. She always complains I don't listen. We are forcefully split into 4 separate dimensions by a powerful concussive force. I crash land in what appears to be an accelerated time loop dimension. I theorized about these, but never thought I would experience one. I'm being painfully stretched through space-time, forced to repeatedly live my life in fast forward. New memories are erased each time cycle. Any science made here needs to be applied fast. 240 seconds. 4 minutes to solve the work of a lifetime. The beacon's battery is failing. I have only one chance to broadcast my signal in the right direction, but I need a coordinate. One rogue variable, lost in the vastness of the multiverse. The broken equation awaits back home, laughing at my utter and complete inadequacy. I'm sorry, Sue. I should have listened. Starting mnemonic program. 240 seconds and counting. First memory, frustrated by a broken hyperspatial equation. One missing number.
The great Reed Richards, ending his days like a lab rat in a multiversal maze. How ironic that his only chance of survival lies in the hands of Victor Von Doom.
How is an Infinity Stone made? In the Battle Realm, Infinity Stones are forged as a sword would be. A substance, a blacksmith, a mold, a crucible. A simple enough recipe to be sure, but every revolution has small beginnings. The substance? ISO-8. Veins of it lacing every inch of the battle realm, filigreed across the vastness of the contest. The blacksmith? The maestro. Inventor of the process, but not the master of it. The mold? The vessel in which the ISO-8 is formed defines its capabilities. And the maestro had found his, the champions of the contest. The crucible, conflict, energy, the heat of battle. The genesis of a revolution? The first stone was refined, and the maestro brandished the continuum of life and death as a weapon to destroy the Great Rebellion. But the maestro's plan was slow and arduous. Thanos studied the recipe and found another way. Density and violence. Thanos knew that simply enough ISO-8 with enough conflict would do the trick. Evolution, plucked from the crest of a dark egg, waiting to hatch. A mutagenic engine of limitless potential. Such a revolutionary technique would not go unnoticed for long. the process proliferated to others. An arms race began. War, laid within the chest of the creature demanding dominion over all things, it offers unity in service of destruction. Nightmare, a mongrel of science and mysticism, eroding the infallibility of your faculties. Chaos, caught in a tempest of happenstance, it's impossible to see the direction you're moving. Revolutions begin with invention. They are focused with refinement. They grow with proliferation. They are sustained by... Perhaps I will still be here to see the Infinity Stones reach that final stage.
I seek no wealth, no personal gain, no petty, paltry treasure your planet might possess. Instead, I crave the total energy of your hapless world. Energy without which I cannot survive. I have no wish to harm any who exist. But think you this. If your own life depended upon stepping on an anthill, you would not hesitate. It is lamentable, but since time immemorial, is it not always the ants who fall? Had I a herald to probe the universe for me, then many worlds such as this would I spare.
If such be my destiny, willingly do I accept it. My fate is of little consequence, if it can save the world that gave me birth.
So it shall be. Herald, prepare yourself. Prepare to be reborn. At the command of Galactus, you have fallen. And now, at my command once again, I bid you rise!
Summoner, I have been watching you. Even powerless, you have led the powerful. Even among the legends, your name is legendary.
Am I dead?
Not yet. But I can offer you another path. It's time to leave the sidelines and become the champion you were always meant to be. Will you accept this challenge?
We have a great responsibility over this world.
The price of freedom is high, but we are willing to pay it.
I have seen many futures. In all but one, war awaits.
Puny humans are just afraid of hunger because we're the strongest.
Let war come! As
Guardians thirst for the glory of Valhalla. You humans
I feel a
have not
divergence
changed.
on the time.
Still so
Wizards, Hulks, demigods, let's be civil. Our realms have been butting heads for a long time. I don't know about you, but if fighting a secret war will prevent an open one, I'm game. Will you join me?
The choice is yours, Summoner. Keep hacking at the branches of evil, or find how deep its roots go.
Go on, you bald-headed fool. Send your little rafts out to sea. It doesn't matter. They cannot escape the tidal wave.
A single sword can defeat an entire army, if you know how to wield it. This was the lesson the goddess of death, Hela, had imparted onto Thanos. Why wait to use all of the Infinity Stones when only one was needed to secure victory? Her advice would prove fruitful. Thanos trapped the heroes of the Battle Realm inside a dead universe, while he claimed the final Infinity Stones needed to reach the pinnacle of strength. And thus the Mad Titan was victorious in his plan. The Infinity Stones now adorning his hand pulsed with scintillating power. He was conflicted. How best to rid the Battle Realm of suffering? With death, or with the chaos of the contest itself? Hela, the shrewd tactician, advocated annihilation, a clean slate, while the infernal Mephisto preached for
infernal? Shrewd? The Queen of Death was simply playing her own game. Where do you think those poor souls were headed? Right into her realm. Only a watcher such as you would see the universe in such black and white terms. Writing your damn book, while some of us take real action and get our hands dirty. I, the great Mephisto, was simply trying to help. As I told the summoner at the time, death is so boring. And I pride myself on being an interesting fellow, you know, a man of wealth and taste. I mean, look at me. But I digress. Thanos' trepidation for that Harpy's genocidal plan did create an opening for me. The heroes of the contest, to strike a Parthian shot, if you will. Now, be a dear, and next time you decide to call someone infernal, make sure your facts are in order.
Yes, well, regardless, Doctor Strange cast a spell that was able to contain Thanos' power and create an opening for the summoner, but it split Strange's astral form from his corporeal one. The Sorcerer Supreme's sacrifice would not be in vain. The summoner defeated Thanos and all 6 of his Infinity Stones. The nightmare was over. But victory turned to mourning. Mourning for those lost in the years-long conflict. Doctor Strange, King T'Challa, the survivors of the Infinity War were changed forever by its events. Scarred in every way by their choice to plant their feet in the face of infinite power. Their scars, reminders of their sacrifice and the work yet to be done together.
This is the Grand Vizier of Gossip himself, Mojo, live with a bombshell that will shake the Battle Realm. Be warned, you might need an arachnoid exoskeleton to sustain your weight, because this news will melt your spine. My trusted sources have learned, from people close to the Grandmaster himself, that the contest of champions is rigged, fixed, manipulated, gerrymandered. Yes, sir. The battles in the supposedly greatest gladiatorial event in the multiverse have been manipulated to create a so-called balance between the powerful cosmic entities and even the most normal humans, armed only with a gun. Shame! What are the elders of the universe hiding? Is this whole contest just an elaborate reality show? If so, where are the cameras? I demand my close-up! But you know what? Two can play at that game. If those vertebrates want a show they shall get. Courtesy of the Sultan of Spectacle, the High Priest of Showbiz, me! Here's my plan. Once I reach 1 billion thumb-up emojis for this video, I will unleash my own personal brand of action hero upon the contest of champions. Do you think we can reach that number, Mojoverse? Or is it too much of a long shot? Yes! Yes! Yes, keep those emojis coming! Hit that button hard! And don't forget to subscribe!
See you, Master. It's a different version of you. Younger, fresh-faced, inexperienced. Not yet dubbed the Ancient One. Not yet scarred by the burden of terrible knowledge. He meanders in the dark, presaging the future, but not quite grasping it. Walking on the edge of the abyss, unaware of the impending danger. But as fate will have it, we've been watching. Sorcerers Supreme, protect their own. Dr. Stephen Strange, heed my words. I come from a world where you have become the venerable headmaster of our order. Your guidance has countless times kept evil at bay. I am here to impart the wisdom your future self has gained at great cost. Wise words straight from your own mouth. Trust no one.
From childhood, we are trained. No, forged to be the best. We are pushed beyond the limit of both body and mind. We become precise, measured, single-minded, like a tool or a weapon. But tools break. Weapons fail. Humans endure. They survive and live to fight another day.
The Japanese island of Honshu is home to many curious animals, but none as majestic as the Japanese macaque. These prodigious creatures are better known for spending many lazy afternoons submerged in Japan's unique therapeutic hot baths. However, there is a less leisurely side to this sympathetic simian. He is also known as an adept hunter. From a high vantage point, the Japanese macaque stealthily watches his prey. The unsuspecting victims go about their lives, not realizing the danger. The macaque prepares the attack. But he is suddenly thwarted by a surprise adversary, a ferocious feline. Many miles away from her natural habitat makes her move. But the macaque is not about to be dethroned as king of the Japanese wilderness. Will the predator become the prey? Watch the conclusion of this thrilling tale of monkey versus tiger in Marvel Contest of Champions. Get it? Tail, because they both have tails. There's a lot of fancy writing going on in here. Sympathetic simian.
Salutations, brave citizens of the contest. If you're watching this video, it means that you're curious about our frozen friends to the north, the fabled Canadians. Many think that a Canadian is a crazed creature of the wilderness. It is true that some strap blades to their body to engage in the violent blood sport known as hockey. But the Canadian can also be a civilized trendsetter. Why, just look at this suave citygoer in their fashionably furry attire. Off he goes to rub elbows with the elite. Behold the majestic majesty of Canada's supernatural wonders, like this Canadian moose. Or even this walking bad hair day, making a rare unblurred appearance for our cameras. Sasquatch here comes from the top secret group Alpha Flight. Oh, wait, what's happening? Something the matter, Guardian? This script was written and reviewed by Dr. W. Wilson, so Oh, okay. I get it. So nearly every Canadian is nice. But there are exceptions.